Dustin, you want to start?
Sure. Rick, you talked a little bit after Game 1 about the importance of Ben Sheppard's minutes and that stretch that kind of helped Aaron freshen up a little bit. How have you seen Ben's year 2 go? He's obviously had some swings and roll and whatnot, but obviously continues to give you that kind of energy. What have you seen from his development this year, and what have you liked about how he's operating?
Yeah, he's had some kind of fluky injury things that happened along the season, and so he missed some time early, then he missed some time late. He had a toe thing, which is a lot better now. Obviously, he's playing. He's a guy that's very dependable. He goes in, and you're going to get hard play, running, real effort to have attention to detail, and he plays with a pace and an energy that's helpful to our team.
You obviously know Jalen Brunson really well from your past, etc. How have you seen him grow, especially since he's been here in New York?
Well, is this his 4th year or 3rd year here?
Third.
This is his 3rd? Yeah. Well, each year he just has just kind of raised the bar of what he's been doing. He's the kind of guy that covets the opportunity to lead. He wants the responsibility of winning and losing, and he's been extremely durable. I know he missed some time this year, but he played hurt when he was with us, and you always knew you were going to get his best possible effort and whatever he could put out there. And so he's obviously taken it to exponential levels here on one of the big stages in all professional sports. And so learning about his determination and how much he's driven by doubters, etc. It's not surprising what he's done from that standpoint, but I don't know that many people would have predicted quite all this.
Coach, you were able to force some critical turnovers late in the game. Do you find that your pace sometimes will speed up the opponent and kind of compel them, force them to play at that pace, leading to turnovers?
Well, we were behind and we were trapping, so I don't know if pace had anything to do with it, but look, we try to play a style that's good for us, and we try to play as well as we can.
A couple of these comebacks you've had in the playoffs here, as far back as the data goes, they're either it never happened or it barely ever happened. Have you felt any time leaving the gym like that was special, or I don't feel like I've seen anything quite like that?
Yeah, there have been some special moments really throughout our season, but it's you've got to turn the page and move on to the next thing. It's over. Those things are over. We're fortunate. I mean, New York dominated a large portion of that game, very obviously, and we did some great things in the last 7 or 8 minutes, whatever it was. But all that's over. We cannot live in the past feeling good about that. Today's day 3 of 13 days in this series, and we've got to be ready. There's going to be a very significant increase in their presence, physicality, everything from the jump, and it's to be expected, and we're going to have to be ready for that.
Terry's talked a lot about just the continuity you guys have had, and gave a lot of credit to sort of the front office routine. Terry's out from the last game. He talked a lot about the continuity that you guys have had of just keeping this group together and being able to build off things. Do you see that as just having covered the playoffs the last few years, the teams that have been making it deeper and deeper seems to be the ones that have been together for a while?
Yeah, if you have the right people, continuity is always good. It's always good, and so my hope is we can keep this group together for a long time.
Coach, you
Go ahead.
yeah, you've been in the game for a good part of your life. So what do you see that it takes for a team to develop resilience and focus and do it on a consistent basis? And when did you notice your team start to have that?
I mean, we've showed it from in different instances over the last 3 years, and some of it can be viewed as exceeding expectations. 2 years ago, not last year but the year before, we got off to an unexpected start, and did some things to show resilience there. I mean, to me, it's hard work and commitment, and when you've done the work, you feel like you can keep giving yourself a chance. I think New York is a similar team. I mean, they've been very resilient too over the last 3 years.
Behind the other night, the 17 points behind. What did you say to the team, and how do you prevent that from happening today?
Well, yeah. I don't remember exactly what I said, but we needed to get some fresh bodies in the game. I think that around that time was when Shepard won the game. We may have subbed one or two other guys. We had foul trouble. Both teams had foul trouble, and just trying to play the whole 48 minutes and play it out and do everything we can to make it hard on them and to get some points. And so it worked out, but it's over.
Is there a certain kind of player necessary for your offensive system? Are there certain players maybe in this league that wouldn't fit just because of the requisite ball and player movement and the sort of the need to keep it moving like that?
I'm not really sure how to answer that question. Not every player we have on our team is a perfect fit with exactly what we do. But coaching is about taking some parts that aren't necessarily identical and finding a way to bring out the strengths of those players to meld them with the rest. And so we try to do that. Every coach in the NBA is trying to do that. So, but I've resisted the whole concept of being a system coach for a long time. There's so much player movement now. It's you've got to have an attitude that you can take any players that are presented to you and try to help them do their best.
Rick, you mentioned the foul trouble. But down the stretch, this is obviously a team that loves to get to the line. Down the stretch, you're able to defend largely without fouling. Did you tell the team to do anything differently, or just kind of work out now?
Well, we don't want to put them on the line, but there's great players in this league. I mean, we played against Donovan Mitchell last series, and they had 40 free throws or more a couple times, and so sometimes it just happens. But the other night we caught a stretch where we kept them off somewhat. Don't remember the exact blow by blow, and really I'm kind of done talking about the other night. But we would love to foul less.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.